welcome to the last Fireside chat, possibly of all time. Who knows? This is going to be the third or potentially fourth part of my interviews with Molly Rot. So let's give her a little jingle. Okay, and then I want to start a call. All right, I think we're good. Oh, can you hear me?
Oh,
There you go.
no. Okay, hold on. I want it to work. Ah, God damn it. Ah.
Take your time. It's all part of the process.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to connect to the Bluetooth because my phone speaker sucks ass, but it's not. Can I like? It says speaker.
Yeah,
Like,
I can hear
oh,
you.
speaker my phone.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Whatever, it's fine. I'll just use this. We'll just hope I can hear.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay.
So, as I started out the recording with, this is the third interview I believe we've done. Um, this I may be the last one I do of all time. Who knows? Uh,
Hold on for 2 seconds.
yeah,
Can
sure,
I,
take your
can I
time.
just use my phone? I can't hear. Oh, maybe that'll work. But no, I don't think you can use a fucking like speaker with this cord. I think that's what the problem is. I don't know. Let me try. What? Remember the silent can't. Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck me. Jesus Christ, I hate this. I'm sorry. Just give me 2 seconds. Like
Yeah, sure,
I
take your
can't hear
time.
you at all. Oh my God. Ugh. Can I call you back in like 2 seconds when I
Yeah,
get this figured out?
yeah,
Okay,
sure.
sweet. Thank you.
All right then. Well, while we're waiting, I guess I'll just talk to you, fine folks. So as I pulled down most of the other old interviews, uh, we are essentially this would be probably the only one left on the channel at least for a bit, and then I'll probably yank that too, just because there's a time for childish things and times for adult things. And interviewing pornography stars on the internet. That's one of those things that must be put away to become a real boy. Uh, Ideally, this will partially be part of the research I've done for my upcoming book, Brutalism. Last book just came out. There's an audio book done by the phenomenal Turk February. There we go. There we go. How's it going?
Oh my God. Okay. It won't connect to the speaker. I gotta find some headphones real quick. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
I'll call you back in 2 seconds. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So, but yeah. Um, sorry about the technical limitations of this recording, but we're all out of practice. But do check out the last book, Salvation in Lost Nation, by a lovely pseudonym known as I.C. Spriggensguff. Uh, America, God, sex, death, giant guinea pigs, everything that the average person wants to read about. And some things that the average person doesn't really want to read about. It's kind of the fun of the book. Uh, I'm trying to filibuster as best I can while she gets those headphones. Probably going to cut this part out, but I might get lazy. Who knows? Maybe this will be more fun for the fans out there. Uh, so fans, even though we're not live, you can understand why we're not live right now. Uh, how are you doing? How you been? It's been a long time since we've seen each other. You looking good? You getting fit? Living a good life? That's good to hear. I'm glad you're living a good life, dear noble fan. Uh, Life's been good for me too. Kinda, mostly. Writing books. Doing productive shit. Mostly. This is probably gonna be the only interview that I've ever done sober. I think there might have been one more, but I can't remember it. Most of them I was hammered out of my skull which is part of the tortured writer archetype. Although most of my tortures are self-inflicted, as they so often become. Uh, but it's all been good. I hope everything's been good with you. I hope you're out there having families, uh, going to church on Sundays or every other Sunday. Oh, here we go. How's it going?
There we go.
Okay, cool. Can you hear me now?
Are you fucking kidding me? Now it's letting me fucking do. Okay, can you say something?
Oh, can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, I can hear you.
There you go. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Oh God. Oh my God.
No worries.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's most technology these days. So,
Fucking hate this shit.
so let's see here. I'll recap the last couple. We started this series about 3 years ago, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Uh, and now we're here, essentially at the end of all things. How have things been in your life? How you doing?
Oh, rough. It's been rough, Like I get really depressed in the summer for some ungodly reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Like summertime is like, oh, like let's get sad. It's fucking summer. I just don't would do well in heat. So a lot of my summertime is just spent sleeping because I fucking can't stand. But Monday's my birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
How old are you gonna be?
24.
Yeah, there you go. You made it to 24. I didn't think I was gonna make it to 24.
Yeah.
Just wait till you hit
Right? I
30.
don't think either. I'm like, what the fuck do I do here?
Yeah,
How old are you?
30 at this point. Uh,
Oh, nice.
yeah, so I'm over the hill. At this point, they're gonna recycle me soon, like Logan's Run.
Now you're just going downhill from here. Yeah, 30, now it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
But we
you
all.
have Lordy, look who's 40.
I'll be great at 40. That's where things all come together right here. So,
Yeah, some lady at the gas station told me I'm going to look really hot when I'm 70
hey,
because she didn't believe that I was over like 18.
yeah, there you go. Exactly. So,
She asked me how old I was because of my tattoos, and I told her I was 23, and she was like, "What? You look so young. When you're 70, you're going to look like you're 40." And I'm like, "I hope."
yeah, I mean, that's what we all hope, I would ideally assume.
Right? Yeah.
So, how's the business been? Have you, really, how's the last year been for you? I guess that's the
Oh
better way of
God.
phrasing it.
So fucking, I got my Snapchat deleted last September, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I had that Snapchat for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really devastating because I had 3 years worth of content on it, and that my dumbass didn't have it all saved because I was like, didn't think about think about that. The majority of it was saved, but like I had switched phones at one point during like having that Snapchat. So like, yeah, so like I didn't have a lot of the content on there, but I don't know. And I got deleted because I think I got reported enough to fucking get deleted. Um, and I have had 4 Snapchats since then. So not even a year. And I've gone through 4 Snapchats.
Do they have a rule about
What?
selling
Oh.
pornography on there, or is it something
Yeah,
else?
you're not so yeah, you're not supposed to do sexual like explicit content on there, You're not supposed to like sell explicit content. However, I ain't hurting nobody.
I mean,
I
yeah.
ain't hurting nobody.
Yeah.
But I think someone's after me because like this last account that I made, this is why I just gave up. I hadn't even posted anything yet. I hadn't said a single goddamn thing on it, like my story yet. I had been talking to like some of my like regular clients of them being like, "Oh my God, if you're back, how many Snapchats is this now?" And like we're answering messages, and then I got deleted within a day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have that Snapchat for more than a day. I didn't even get to make my Bitmoji. That's how fucking like long it lasted. Like I was pissed. So I was like, I give up. And every time you get banned on Snapchat, they ban your phone.
Yes. Yes.
So I've had to get 4 different phones.
I mean, you
Now,
could.
granted, I didn't have 4 phones because of the Snapchat, but I had to keep getting new phones. And so I was just like, wow, I can make another Snapchat. And then every fucking time I just would get deleted again. And I was like, fuck. And then I'd wait till I get another phone.
I mean, you could use a number cloner or a number generator.
Yeah, could I?
Yeah, that's how everybody else does it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm stupid then. Oh, but they banned like your. your IME. So you can't even like log into a different Snapchat on it. Like I tried logging into my like personal Snapchat that I've had since I was in like high school, and they were like, you're banned from like using Snapchat for a temporary amount of time. And I found out that time is almost a year, I think, because I tried logging in on my first phone, and it just let me in,
Hmm.
like to my personal Snapchat, and I was like, oh my god, hello. And so I made a new one, and then it just got deleted in a day, and I was like, fuck it. So I'm gonna get a new phone here soon. But I don't think I'm gonna make another content Snapchat just because it's like not fucking worth it. But I make like $2,000 a month off my Snapchat.
Okay. So where?
Like I make 1,000 to 2,000 a month off my Snapchat.
Okay. So where? So you had you went away for a bit, as it were. Where's your
Yeah.
where are your finances now with your empire? Are you still making the same amount of money, or has it dropped off significantly?
No, it's dropped off significantly, especially because I've also been locked out of my OnlyFans, funny enough, for a minute. So I haven't been able to post on there in a second. And I
Uh,
got back in temporarily on it and was trying to like, and be like, I'm so sorry. And then I got like locked out of it again. And I'm like, I emailed OnlyFans like 5 times and they finally responded to me on their fucking Twitter. Like, I messaged them on their Twitter account, like OnlyFans support. And I was like, guys, my birthday's coming up and I want to do special things on my OnlyFans. Give it back.
what do they say?
So they told me to I needed to send a picture of them holding my ID, saying like my username and like the date. And I was like, I lost my ID recently. I have no idea where it is. So I just did it with a picture of my ID, like on a different phone, and said
Hmm.
it. So I'm hoping they'll take that. I'm praying they'll take that.
I don't know if
Um,
they're gonna take that.
I don't know. I'm hoping they will. I'm just kind of praying and like to
Just
the God,
because
like
it could be photoshopped, and their primary concern is making sure that there's no child porn existing on
I
there.
know. But I said I have a picture of me holding it from when I first fucking like got OnlyFans. So like maybe that like is good enough proof that it's my account, you know? The
Maybe.
fucking original photo. Maybe. I don't know. We can pray.
Okay, so
I'm just hoping.
so at this point, I mean, if you're locked out of your OnlyFans, you're locked out of your Snapchats, are you still making money off your content, or has that completely fallen off?
So I'm still making money on OnlyFans. I just can't cash out right now. So it's
Hmm.
literally just like accumulating in my account because it's a manual cash out on OnlyFans. You can
Hmm.
cash out every 3 days. So if you get a payment one day, you can cash it out the next. Well, technically, it's like, so it's 3 days to process. No, it's 7 days to process.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's 7 days to process. And then once you cash it out, it takes 3 days to get to your like fucking bank account.
Okay.
I put it on PayPal, which PayPal is surprisingly one of the least fucking like the only fucking app that is like sex worker friend. Like, because I've been using it since 2018 for sex work.
Yeah,
I've
they're
been using it. It was my primary. It was the only way I accepted payment when I first started sex work. And like, I've never, knock on wood, holy shit, never issue with them. They fucking always let me OnlyFans checks, which usually when you deposit an OnlyFans check, fucking the bank will just like close your account because they're like, that's sex work. That's illegal. We're shutting you down. You can't deposit your checks here. That's fishy. We're not going to be associated with that. And so I've been shut down from a lot of banks for being a sex worker.
so they. Oh, at least I mean, to be fair, PayPal's doing its thing. They do the same thing for white nationalism, so I think it's all everybody get
Oh
everybody
yeah,
everybody gets fucked. I guess at that point by the banks. Big surprise there.
yeah. So I'm just surprised PayPal is like the one good one. PayPal's shit, and
Does
it's the only one that's let me for like 6 years do this. So I deposit my checks there, and so I get them 3 days early.
mm,
So sometimes if I cash out early enough in the day, I'll get it that night, but usually I get it the next day. So
okay.
it's
Uh,
it's nice. I just can't cash it out right now because I'm just so upset. I just feel like it's harder and harder these days to be a sex worker. I think it's gotten harder and harder over the years, or maybe that's just me.
I mean, well, the culture's turned against it, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I do believe that when COVID hit, everybody was horny and lonely.
Oh my God, when COVID hit, everyone and their mom, one, decided they could do sex work. Every fucking girl
Yeah,
with a cell phone was
yeah.
like, I can take nudes and post them on OnlyFans and get a lot of money for it. Oh my God. And they refused to like, give into like the whole thing like sex work is about. They just think they can take cute little pictures of their butt and stuff and like post it on OnlyFans and make a ton of money.
Isn't
Like
that
they
what?
don't have to do anything. They can
But
just make a ton of money.
isn't that what sex work's about? I didn't know there was a like an ideological backing to it. You know?
No, no, it's fucking yeah, no, dude, it's fucking like I work like so I started sex work in 2018 when I turned 18. So like I had this dream for some reason, I don't know why, to be like I wanted to do porn. Like I don't know. I just wanted to do porn. I got voted at my like senior sober party. It was like one of the like not the yearbook votes, but like the funny ones they do afterwards.
Hmm.
Most likely to be a porn star was me.
I mean, you
Because I
know.
just had this dream.
I mean, did you ever dream about being anything else, or was it always just that?
Oh, I did. I have other dreams. Like I have other career goals and stuff. I'm getting my psychology degree right now, and I kind of want to teach psychology or something, or be a drug or counselor or something. Like that seems like a fun time. I want to work at like as like a school counselor. I think that'd be fun. That'd
But
be interesting.
so
I'm
the
really good at that kind of stuff.
the question I would have with that is, do you think that the sex work as a past career is going to be an impediment to that?
I don't think they'll find it.
Okay.
Unless they do a facial recognition search. I've done a pretty good job of like keeping my real name not associated with my like porn career. Like
Okay.
I've been really good about it. The only like way you see my real name is on like payment apps,
Hmm.
and like even then, like I don't like you can't tell like it's yeah. So I'm very very strict about keeping my personal life and my porn like very like separate. All right, like
Hmm.
I'm very dedicated to that.
Okay.
Just because I do want to get a career in the future and I don't want it to fuck it up.
When do you think you're going to start working towards that? Do you like have an exit
Um,
strategy, like a time or an amount of money, or is it just you'll
I
cross that
feel like
bridge?
once I feel like yeah, I think it's once I cross that bridge, when I get my degree, when I graduate and I get my degree and like I get a big girl job, I think that's when I'll quit at least.
Okay.
Or hey, maybe like I'll just randomly out of the blue, like what I'll just fucking sweep off into the the, the higher ups and the because I think I reached a pretty good level of popularity in the sex world that I'm comfortable with leaving. I don't want to like try and pursue more fame because uh people are just getting really mean. I mean, people have always been mean, but now you can't escape it, right?
I mean, yeah, no, Mia Khalifa's career obviously is still there, but
Oh
she's
yeah.
completely sociologically fucked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. I don't want to be like, I don't want to end up like that. That's my fear.
Yeah,
Because I'm sensitive,
yeah.
and
Oh,
in the real world, I'm very sensitive. Online, I act like I'm this big bad tough bitch, but like I'm so sensitive, and so like what people say to me sometimes hurts. Like, and it depends on like how they say, it, like.
no,
But I
absolutely.
try, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also the industry you're in is also pretty psychologically taxing, I would assume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I spend all day just fucking getting the worst type of people in my inbox. Just the scum of the earth fucking messaging me all day. And that's what I have to deal with. I just have to deal with it. And it took me a long time to like get to the point where I'm like, okay, you just have to pretend to be nice to them. You don't actually have to think it. Just pretend you are interested in them and the like. I just that took me because I would just be like, I fucking hate you, and you're this fuck. I despise. And some guys like that.
I mean, yeah,
There's a
but
lot of guys
most other
like.
people
Yeah.
they'll hire like an Indian or a Pakistani to do all the dirty talk and talking to people.
I
Um, so
guess it's the gospel.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I just that's always the industry standard I've heard from other people while I've been doing these interviews. Um, do you think that the having to deal with that, and obviously you've learned to deal with that, but uh, do you think it's made you mentally healthier, or do you think it's still like a low grade detriment to like your psyche?
It's definitely fucked up. Like it's definitely psychologically like mentally fucking impacted me quite a bit. Like
Hmm.
I definitely have a lot of fucking issues with like relationships with men. Like not even just like actual but like friendships and stuff and like just interacting with men in the real world. I'm just like, and it's just like, I also hate that like I'll like start talking to somebody and then they find out what I do and they're like, oh, and that just opens up fucking Pandora's box of just shit I don't want to deal with.
I mean, yeah, no, it's
And so
it's
yeah,
the same problem of being a stripper, as I understand it.
yeah, exactly. I was a stripper for a little bit, and that just I could not handle the whole like face to face interact like because at least behind my screen I can like be like hee hee you're so handsome like you're big ass cotton like oh and then behind the screens I'm like throwing up in a bucket being like oh my god
I mean, so the question
like
therein is having that going on, is it worth the money?
oh yeah definitely
Uh,
I do enjoy it like I love it it's so like I've tried leaving I've tried to stop and I just come back like I just can't not like I enjoy it too much I don't know it's just like this it one fuels my ego and I need that because like I'm a Leo so obviously my self-worth is based on how other people like me apparently according to myself um but I don't know it's just boosts your ego super high and like yeah you get a lot of haters but like I feel like the amount of like positivity I get really outweighs the negativity because like yeah for every one hater I have there's 20 guys fapping to me so
I mean, yeah, but I
who's
mean,
really winning like
so
who's the winner here.
so it's a form of validation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just I've gotten really good at it and I've like acquired some really loyal customers. And so making money is very, very easy.
Hmm.
Like to the point where like I'll work once a week and I'll still make like $1,000 a week doing nothing basically,
Okay,
which
yeah.
does not help my depression, but like damn. Sure help like fuck yeah, I love it. Like
I mean, yeah. I mean, but it's also one of those deals where that money, even at some point that money goes away, but also it's just the nature of sex
oh
work
yeah.
where at a certain point you age out. It's I, re-
Mhm.
I forget whose book I read, but I read it and they were talking about being a porn star and how so,
Shannon, whatever her name is.
yeah, and it's one of those things
Yeah,
where
I love her. I read that too. That's why I wanted to start doing porn was her actually. I watched her videos when I was in high school and I really liked her. And I was like, I want to like I want to be that. And she always talked about doing porn and stuff. And I was like, well, if I do porn, I'll be as awesome as her.
we might have been
and
reading a
I'm
different
definitely
book.
like
The one I read was
maybe.
talking about how she turned like 26 or 27 and didn't have any substantial business until she became a MILF, which is the better case for a lot of people in
Oh,
sex work.
mhm. Oh
Um,
yeah, you have to find your fetish. You have to find your kink that you like. Uh,
I,
like
I mean, yeah,
I don't remember the word.
we've all
Yeah,
got to hit what we can. But at a certain point, obviously the money does dry up, and the perverts move on to fresher, newer things.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Especially with the way
It's always the
fetishes develop in the world, where
Oh
everything,
my God, it's intense.
but it's everything also compounds. So where it started out as
hmm
some guy jerking off the feet, eventually moves on to uh, horrible, unspeakable pornography. We'll phrase it as, and
Oh
it's
yeah, holy
it's
shit. I get asked to do some fucked up shit on the daily. Like I stopped being able to post a cute little picture of my dog on Snapchat
yes,
because like I would just get three or four guys just being like, "How much like would it cost for you to make a video with that?"
yeah,
Like them, and I'm
yeah,
like, "What?" And they're like, "I'll give you $30." And I'm
yeah.
like, $30 to commit a terrible, moral, unthinkable act? Like, huh?
I mean, we live in
I'm not
a
even worth the full 220s. Like,
yeah, we live in a world that's forgotten God's light.
oh yeah. I like have so many girls, like even like in real life and in like online, that will ask me like, "Oh my God, can you help me like get started?" And I'm like, "No." I mean, sometimes I help, but like they have this skewed image of what the industry is like nowadays, and it's changed so much in the past like couple of years that it's like nothing anyone thinks anymore. It's like, oh yeah, we all just fucking eat breadcrumbs nowadays. Like unless you found your like niche and you're like people, you're fucked. Getting started in the industry nowadays is impossible. Like this girl was asking me, like one of my friends in real life was like wanting to do it, so I'm talking to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, really? Like you only make like that off it? Like I'm only gonna do stuff like that for like if it's $1,000 or more. Like 5,000 is what I want." I'm like, huh? She's like, "I want $5,000 a video." And I'm like, okay, you're not getting that here.
Do you think that
Fucking
that perception in society is by design in a way to possibly denigrate women or to get women to sexualize themselves in a way that partially dehumanizes them?
yeah, like I think like oh like sex work like oh my gosh, this girl's like a sugar day baby and like she gets $50,000 a month and blah, blah, and like she like has all these like bleh, and I'm like okay, in the before time, like yeah, maybe when it first started like becoming a thing, the money was hot, but now like it's fucking it's flooded. The market is flooded. Like there's not as many sugar daddies as there are sugar babies, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there
no,
are
yeah,
so many girls are like try like not even just that, but there are so many girls like being like trying to sell them like no, I don't want to say like sell them like yeah, but anyway, like sell their presents and guys that are like
yeah.
already have their girl or like you're not even a blip on their yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, yeah, it's been again the female form and the female sexuality has been commoditized, thus devaluing the entire rest of it because there's always going to be money, but the good money is no longer out there because guys have found their spot and they are kind of sticking to it, and it's slowly eroding away just because there's a too many people in the marketplace. There's too many people selling butthole pics for $5.
exactly. Like unless you really like come out of the gates with like some like kinks and like that you're willing to do and like a really good image, like just be goth. Like as long as you're alternative, guys will like you. You can be ugly, but as long as you're alternative, guys will like you. Like that's what I've noticed. I mean, I'm pretty, and so I feel like I'm not pretty like without makeup and stuff on, but like I have really like I can't like not say like I can't be like oh I'm like not pretty like I am like I know I am like so it's incredibly easy like actually pretty and with an interesting aesthetic boom I'm ready I'm done I got it in the bag
Do you
like and I do some fucking weird shit like not like I do some weird shit but I also do some like things that you would like that remember last year when I read Fight Club
I mean that I tell that story at parties all the time. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, no. But in that same way, those people, I think the gag of that, the funniest, well, I mean, funny for an outsider, was understanding that they weren't willing to donate money for more books and removed clothes, and they were live in the chat. That was the surreal part about it. But I am very curious to hear how your opinion is on because you talked about how the immediate play for a lot of people, if they want to be viewed as attractive, is to go with the alt look, especially because we've got a younger generation incoming. Um, do you think that female, I guess, female amount of alternate culture is part of the reason why we've seen punk rock and metal and the actual alternative culture slowly degrade as time went and actually have to go back underground?
Yeah, so I think the more mainstream something gets, the more people attach to that aesthetic.
Hmm.
And depending on like how that fucking subculture like thinks and stuff, that's either good or bad,
Hmm.
you know? And like alternative has becoming way more like accepted and like social and seen and stuff, and there's way more people like being alternative. And now it's like uh fucking sorry, I just fucking got stoned. What was I saying?
The alternative
It's
culture.
like, yeah. Have you seen Salt Lake City Punk? SLC Punk
Yeah, no, I mean like
with
that's
Matthew
yeah,
Lillard in it? Yeah.
yeah.
The whole thing is that they're a minority of fucking like other thinkers other than like the norm and like the popular crowd and shit. And now that it's becoming the popular crowd to think like that, it's like, well, what do they do?
No, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
their entire personality is like being yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's why we're seeing spikes in conservatism for sure, just as a cultural
Mhm.
as like a cultural counterbalance. Which I mean that's kind of how I ended up. I ran with Occupy Wall Street years and years and years ago, and then I rode all the cultural trends until I saw that the alternative culture, not only everybody, the phrase hug box is way overplayed. But I saw that the counterculture was turning and becoming dangerous to people who represented the true counterculture. In the sense of
Mhm.
the rebels all want to eat each other at this point. They're all communists, and they all want everybody else to
Mm.
go to the gulags. Um,
Dominus.
yeah, it's kind of wild. Um, so, uh, do you see that continuing as someone who lives in that like modern counterculture of obviously you're rocking the alt thing, you do sex work, you're obviously part of, I would assume, part of your own local counterculture. Do you foresee
Mm-hmm.
how long do you think, or if it does at all, how long do you think until that hard paradigm shift kicks in, where that's viewed as ultra cringe, as the kids say?
Mm-hmm. I think it'll take a generation. You know, it always takes a generation.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe it'll take less that now that social media is a thing, or maybe it'll take longer. I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
But I used to get bullied hardcore for being alternative. Like I got fucking like picked on like and tore like for being alternative all the way up until I was in like I think even when I like even when I was a senior in high school, I was still getting fucking picked on for it. But it was becoming more normal, but normally among the younger crowd. So like not my age, but like a couple years younger than me. It was getting like really like not like more seen like so like I fit in with them, but not my own age group. So I got, but then like when a year or two after I graduated, I saw these girls that I like went to high school with in my class starting to become alternative, starting to do the fucking alt looks and shit. And I'm like, hey, you bullied me for that. You
Yeah.
told me I look like stupid. Like, hey, no, you're not allowed to like use my fucking look for your advantages.
I
Fuck
mean,
off.
yeah. It's
You
well.
called me raccoon eyes all throughout high school. Fuck you.
Ah, that one's a classic right there. That one.
Uh,
Any woman that listens to this is gonna have traumatic
mm-hmm.
relivings of that
Like
phrase.
PTSD moment.
Yeah, yeah. So, in that same vein, do you think that, once, because obviously one of the primary talking points out there in the world today is, I'm not saying if it's real, I'm not saying if it's not, I'm just going with the public perception of it, where women have gotten a little bit more vapid, a little bit less cerebral as time has gone on, especially as they've engaged in social media, and they overvalued themselves because of that. Do you foresee women coming back to a more middle of the road stance, or do you think that we're now for the rest of time in a culture where women, all of them, no matter how bad they are or how good they are, think they're a perfect 10 that deserves some guy that's rocking the what is it, triple sixes? What is it, 6-inch cock, six-figure income, and over 6 feet? Or do you think that women are going to become more realistic in their expectations as time goes along?
Um, I think we'll just have to like look like humanity is like a pattern. Like how like it's just so like strange because now we have social media nowadays, so we're a lot more like socially connected than like previous time, you know?
Hmm.
So I think it'll be easier to like, track that and like see like what's the outcome of like all this. Cause like we don't really know like a lot of like outcomes to social
I
uh
mean, we've got a rough
ish like
idea.
we have a
Uh,
rough idea, but like we don't have this documented of an idea. We don't have literally like word for word documentation like of everything. Like
Kinda. It's one of those things where, in the same way you describe, growing up in as part of the alternate culture, I can go back to high school in 2006.
oh
Uh,
God.
where it was the exact same thing. Where at least back then it was you still had a couple of real punks out there that were doing punk rock shit. Um, and you had the very early. I mean, like there's earlier versions of it, but you really get to the social media age once MySpace kicks in, and then eventually there's the
I would
transition
have
to
been such a
Facebook.
MySpace queen.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
everybody
so
was.
upset that
Yeah.
I wasn't. I wish I could have done MySpace because MySpace was like gone and over with by the time I like really got my looks going. It was long gone. So like, but I get so many comments of people being like, "You look like a MySpace queen. Like you had been so famous on MySpace." I'm like, "Why wasn't I?
Yeah.
Fuck!
Scene girl
I'm really
nationalism. Yeah.
born in the wrong generation."
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's back. The same as you were mentioning that things are cyclical. The number of like emo people I see out there, or at least people who are dressing like the pre Warp Tour 2009 hardcore look, is definitely back. Um, I feel like, if anything, what I've seen is there's a lot less people who are identifying with like the punk rock subculture because it's become a baldish shamble of itself, mostly through Epitaph Records and Fat Records. But it's definitely back. So if you ever want to do the giant floofy hair and the raccoon, I guess again,
Oh
it's
yeah, I still
this
do
is the
that shit.
yeah, this is
What
the
I what
prime
I
years.
love about fashion and what I love about like pop culture is that it cycles, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like ever like the 80s stuff going out in the 90s but coming back and the 90s stuff going out and then come back and then it's like well what's going to go out like for us like in art right now and then come back in a like later year like it's so like fluid and moving and it's like one thing can be cool one day and the next day it's fucking it's not it's cringe like it just
yeah,
all depends on like word to mouth like how many people like talk about it and shit it's so cool. I
yeah,
love fashion.
yeah. No, fashion's cool. I miss working in the industry. So, yeah, you were talking about the weirdos in your DMs,
Oh,
and obviously a lot of the people that are buying emotional intimacy, using fiat
oh
currency.
God.
Um,
Ugh.
having that inside look at people, do you believe that shame or guilt is more powerful in playing into that? Because
Oh God. I get a lot of guys in my way too many to in my opinion that want to get like a girlfriend experience from me.
mm,
And there's even more that don't admit to themselves that they're willing to pay for it.
yes,
So I have like a ton of guys basically trying to like just always pursuing me, and it's just so fucking exhausting. Because like, why do you, shut the fuck up? Why do you think like not you? Um, you can like I don't know. It's mostly the guys that like are like don't want to pay me for it my time. They're
mm,
like, I just want to talk to you every single day, all day. Have you send me stuff, say I'm the best and perfect and awesome, and like engage in romantic and sexual like conversation with me all day every day. But I ain't paying you a dime.
I mean,
Like
yeah, they want the actual
you
girlfriend
want to do my
experience.
job for free, and they're like, well, because I want you to be my girlfriend. I'm like, that's a fucking that what you don't go to somebody like whose job and then no like
Yeah,
go to somebody whose job isn't this like
I mean, do you think that
I just ugh.
the rise of like the accessibility of pornography is obviously part of this, but also the rise of
Oh yeah.
intimate surrogacy, I guess you'd call it, in the sense of the traditional feelings that someone would want to have for a significant other that they then impose on you. Do you see that those people have an out, or do you think that they are actually trapped in a dead end where they will become like terminally Coomer brained? Where uh, like
You shut it
after
off.
after they've spent all their money, uh, and they've become extremely socially maladapted by consuming this amount of pornography and just raw dopamine hit after raw dopamine hit for no actual reason other than just pleasure. Do you think that a lot of these people are going to be able to make it out the other end in the next 20 years, or do you think that they are something will happen with them when they hit the whatever the male version of the wall is, where there's no
So
longer a spot.
I have a few opinions on this. So I think it depends on how old you are. You
Mm-hmm.
know, can you turn it back on? I'm good now. Sorry, thank you. It depends on how old you are, and I hate to say it, but like if you're like on the spectrum at all, or if you have any like mental like problems, it really plays into it. Because I had a client, well, not really a client. He bought for me one time and then annoyed me for like the like months until I finally just like blocked him on everything, which was difficult. Because he kept coming back, but he finally eventually stopped. But anyway, he was mentally retarded, but like inept enough to like be able to like navigate the yeah anyway
Mm-hmm.
and he bought my Snapchat from me
Mm-hmm.
but then like was so annoying all day every day to me on every one of my platforms and then my friend that I made content with she like he would like harass her too all day like and we would like and only bought from each of us once and like expected like content all the time from us
Mm-hmm.
like and he was like well my mom will like found out I was using her credit card to pay for it so like now I'm grounded and we were like how old are you and he's like I'm 48.
That one
And I'm like,
hurts.
so you're grounded, but you're 48 and you use your mom's credit card to. So yeah, we blocked him on everything.
Yeah, beer and tendies.
It's just like I feel like I'm taking advantage of people sometimes, like
I mean,
especially because like
isn't
a
that the
lot of yeah,
isn't that but like isn't that a core component of sex work?
yeah. It's not getting taken like there's an odd thing because we give back to what we get, you know,
Uh-huh.
like taking
Yeah,
advantage
you're trading a commodity.
is like
Yeah.
yeah. So like I don't care. I'm sorry, you don't think that what I'm selling is like worth it, and I'm taking advantage of
Mm,
people, but like that's just that yeah, that's how it be like.
that's how she goes sometimes.
um it's just I don't know like um and then like I've had some clients that like stopped buying after a while. They're like, I got a girlfriend, or they're like, I need to like stop watching porn and like doing sexual. And I'm like, good for you, dog. Taking it into like your own hands. Like I follow a Reddit subreddit about like porn addicts like trying to overcome
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, they're trying to take it out of their hands and literally put their lives in their hands and start their cock. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Right, exactly.
Uh,
Perfect.
so kind of tied into that because you hit on an interesting point there. We're obviously seeing historic rises in just autism in general. It's something that we've you can look at sociological trends, psychological trends for the last recorded history, um, and we're definitely seeing social maladaptation that presents as autism that theoretically could be socially caused. Obviously, there are people who were born with autism, and then there are high functioning people, but overwhelmingly, we're seeing more and more clinical cases of autism like on the rise, and it's keeping going. It's remained steadily climbing. Um, do you think that the easy access to essentially everything is part of that, or do you think that's more of, I guess, what we could just call generational trauma, in the sense of there's a lot of impetus behind the last 2 or 3 generations that's now caught up? I don't know if you feel like you've experienced generational trauma. I definitely feel like I
Oh
got to
yeah,
catch part of it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm part of the generation it's like the first generation that grew up with like technology and shit. Like,
Mm.
because I was born in '99,
Mm.
and like by the time I was what? By the time I was like able to like process and like like technology, it was at like a good point. Like I don't know, like I always like knew what a phone like. We always had phones and stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
Uh, but like everyone younger like is always or everyone older than me is like, oh, you kids and your technique. And I'm like, hey, I played outside too. I ate mud. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on. Like, I didn't have like a computer. I didn't have a phone until I was 17. Like, I still kind of grew up like you. I just knew it existed, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
there. But like,
I mean, we were also the first
and now,
generation to
like,
get groomed on the internet, which definitely
mm-hmm,
did not bear
exactly.
well
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
psychology of a lot of men and women. It's not even like our brain tells us it's women, but like equal numbers of women and men, or girls and
mm-hmm.
boys,
Yeah, absolutely.
are brought into sexual scenarios that they really are not ready for, that permanently cripple them for the rest of their lives.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like the fucking exposure to like pornography and like and all this stuff has fucking stunted us as a fucking socially stunted the people socially,
Hmm.
and you can tell like how
Yeah.
they talk to women and especially how they talk to sex workers. Like some guys say shit to me that I'm like, you would say that to a, like, would you say that to somebody else? Like I asked some guy, I was like, would you say that to like your sister or something? And he's like, no, what? I would never say that to another woman. And I'm like, really? So why am I any different? He's like, oh, because like you get like paid to like be talked to like this. Like this is your job. I'm like, yeah, technically, but like also you can't come out of the gate and like be like that. You have to come out of like you can like after like being like, hey, I want to like do this, then you can fucking do it. But like
Yeah.
coming out of the gate, you have to treat me exactly like you would treat anybody else you're talking to. Like
Yeah. I mean,
it's
yeah.
consent. Like it's consent. Like
Mm. Well, I mean,
so I
kinda,
just yeah.
kinda. I feel like it's one of those things where once it becomes a public, I don't even know how to phrase this. Once it becomes, because technically a lot of this stuff is gated off. There's a payment, and then it becomes a semi-public place. Um, it definitely plays on a lot of weird keys in how people take um, social cues and stuff. In the sense of
Yes.
it's like how people, because like I'm assuming it's worse how people talk to digital sex workers than how they talk to strippers, just because again there's no physical like in sharing the same space.
There's that wall of anonymity
Yes,
where
yes.
they can hide behind a screen and the
Hmm.
girl will never know who they really are.
Yes.
So they can just talk however the fuck they want and have no repercussion.
Hmm.
Like it's disgusting. Like, oh my God. I'm like, you talk to your mother with that mouth.
Well, I mean, I hope most people
Like,
don't talk to their mothers in a sexual manner,
oh yeah,
in
same
general.
thing.
Um, but yeah, yeah. And I do believe that. I mean, I don't know if you do. I know I do, but I know everybody else does. Um, there's a level of punishment for the involvement in whatever we want to view our taboos as. For some people it's sex work, for some people it's overeating, for some people it's substances, whatever. Um, has any of that bled into your life in the sense of like punishing yourself for perceived slights that like in your conscious mind, your conscious self, you're totally fine with, but that something in the back of your head doesn't exactly make you feel too happy about, you know?
I definitely have shamed myself, you know?
Mm,
Like, I've definitely gone through like periods of time where I'm like, even though like, cause I've always been like, well, at least I'm not like a hooker on the fucking corner, but it's like,
yeah.
am I worse than a hooker? Cause sometimes it feels like it gets too like intimate. I don't know, but
No, that makes sense.
and fucking, you can't hide your anonymity half the time. Like,
Yeah.
you have to show all of it. So, and like, I'm very sensitive to, and just, I've definitely had my, like, I quit for a little bit. Um, but then I came back because I was like, I miss it. But like, I quit because I just was like, I can't do this anymore. And my boyfriends at the time were like, do it, we'll work for you. And I was like, sick. And they broke up with me like 2 months after that. But whatever.
Mm,
Um, uh, but yeah, I've gone through, but I'd mostly like try to stay away from like I'm like, wow, I get paid to just do the things I want to.
mm.
Like get dressed up, look really cute, take pictures of myself, like like how fucking awesome is that? Like I can't get no better than that right now. And I'm dealing with a lot like mentally and everything. So like I don't really want to like go to a job because I worked at Victoria's Secret for a little bit, but
Mm.
I couldn't do it. Like it was just getting too much. And like I couldn't like I was like, can I work like 2 days a week? And they were like, no. And I was like, fine.
Do you think
So
that, given that experience, do you think that you'll then be able to, given like once you get your degree or whatever else that is required for whatever your professional career is, do you think you're going to be able to handle a professional career if like that was too much?
I feel like I'll be able to work myself up there because going to school like will prepare me to like be able to spend long amounts of time like in a society, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think I'll be able to like train myself by the time I like need to like hop like go head like deep in the water, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah,
all about a
I'll be able to
process.
like yeah. I'm not gonna just like all of a sudden start a 5 day work week, 8 hours a day. Like I'm not doing that. I'm gonna ease my toe in the water type bitch.
So, would you say? I mean, I'll start it like this. One, like, are you actively working on healing whatever the raw points are in yourself? But do you think that come that time that the effort you're putting in to heal yourself, if you are, or to get yourself up to snuff, however you want to phrase it, do you think that it will like it'll snowball, or do you feel like right now it's a little stagnant?
Um, I feel it feels a little stagnant right now, but I
Okay.
think eventually it'll start. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
but
Yeah.
You just gotta like I know like I just gotta do it and eventually everything will like come but like it's the doing it part that's like holding me back.
Yeah, definitely. Do you? I mean,
Is like
are you making more positive choices in a given day than negative ones, or is that about break even?
um hmm. Well, I've been like usually it takes her like so the summer is just really awful for me and usually
Yeah.
around like my birthday is when I start to be like what am
Mm-hmm.
I doing with my life right now?
Yeah.
And so this is about the time of year where I'm like maybe I should like not be such a fucking piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm trying to like hopefully like 'cause I think I'm gonna apply to a speech debate coaching position
Mm-hmm.
in like November, and I think I'm gonna apply to be do a substitute teaching because you don't have to have a teaching degree or anything
Mm-hmm.
to be a substitute teacher. It should be a long term one you do,
Yeah.
but to be a sub you just have to like be 18 and have a GED and not be a sex offender. Boom, I'm clear. I'm ready.
Yeah. There you
Like,
go.
well, I want to stalk my brother. He's in high school.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, everybody needs a
Yeah.
little bit of help there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So like, let's say you're teaching, or like even I'll give you two scenarios. Let's say 20 years down the road, you've got a daughter of your own, and she's
Oh, this
15.
question,
Yeah.
yeah.
And in the same sense of, because obviously what you say to someone that, is related to you is much different than what you say to someone that is outside of that sphere. So if it was, your daughter and then it was a student, thinking kind of what you were thinking at that age, uh, you know, what would you say to them? How would you kind of approach their questions about life if you have the wealth of information that you do?
Mm. Like, I definitely, if they were like asking me like how to, like, I'm not gonna like, no, I'm gonna be like, you have to wait till you're 18, like 18 to
Hmm.
even like really discuss how to eat. I'm not gonna do it. Like, come back to me when you're 18, then we can talk about it.
Would you
But
discuss
like,
that with them though at that point, or would
what?
you wall that off?
What?
Would you so like if you like let's say your daughter asked you about that, would you have that conversation with her at 18 about like doing that, or would you try to curve her away from it?
I'd be straight up and be like, there's horrors. There are some things that you are never gonna want to see and you can't erase from your mind, and
Hmm.
situations that you're gonna be put in that you're like, damn, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I've definitely had those like, so I'm just gonna be like, it's not sunshine and rainbows, and probably that in like the future, it's not gonna be any sunshine or no rainbows. It's probably
Hmm.
gonna be the worst fucking job in the world.
Hmm.
Like, I definitely think it's gonna fucking like all of a sudden like cam girls online are gonna be like begging for bread basically. Like it's not gonna be as fortunate as it is nowadays. But
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's in retrograde.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Everything's a cycle of life. But if she had like I'd tell her straight up like what's up? Like this is hold on a second.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. What? Are you coming back? Sorry. And yeah, I'd basically like I'd same with every time someone asks me like to help them with like the industry and like help them with an OnlyFans, I tell them the worst of the worst first. Like, because if you can't handle that, you're not gonna like want to go through it to deal with the best parts about it
Hmm.
that I have next. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm telling you why it sucks, why it's awful, why I crap myself to sleep sometimes. But like
Yeah. No, we all cry
it's
ourselves to
just
sleep.
yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely the industry. It's not for everybody, which people think it is. Girls think, oh, I can just post like little funny pictures of myself online and just poof, a bunch of money will appear. You have to network, you have to market, you have to fucking do like you're like unless you like have a manager, like you're doing all this by yourself, like everything by yourself. Like it's fucking hard and you have to deal with like talk to all these guys all day and just like you it's just fucking it's difficult. And so a lot of girls aren't fucking like it's good enough for like bleh. Like my friend like she asked me to help her so I did and she was like will you give me a shout out so I did and she lived in the same town as me so we made a little bit of content together, nothing
Hmm.
like but just like beginner shit. And I got a bunch of messages from guys being like, she is the worst sex worker I've ever dealt with. You don't need to, you can't associate with her anymore. She's going to bring you down. Like, she's
Hmm.
going to fucking ruin your, like, she's awful. And like, she was like, being really mean to guys and just like not giving what she promised. And like she had all this like shit that she was gonna send him and that she never did. And she was just so fucking rude and like piggybacking off of me basically. Like
Hmm.
it was, yeah. And so these guys were like, you need to stop. So I'm like, oh shit. So not everyone like is like cut out for it. Like girls think they are, but then they just like fizzle out and probably get traumatized from it in the long run. Like shit some guys say is out of pocket. Like I don't deserve to be talked to like this sometimes, but like
No,
I've
yeah.
grown accustomed to it.
Yeah, no, I mean we've reached new heights of degeneracy and
Oh yeah,
inhumanity.
definitely.
Arguably, we live in the most
Yeah.
anti-human. What is that? Was it George Orwell? That line
Oh
about
yeah, 1984. Yeah.
no, I don't even think it's 1984. I think it's I can't remember what it's from, but it's what is it? Or is it Ernest Hemingway? What is it? A boot stamping on a human face for eternity?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that one. Yeah. And I think we're slowly entering into that technocratic hell. That really there's I don't know if there's a way back from it. I hope there is, but at this point we've commoditized everything from our physical corporeal forms to ourselves in the long run. And in that same vein, do you what is because obviously you've got contract signed. I think OnlyFans reserves the rights to your content, is what somebody was telling me, if
Yeah,
I
they
remember
do.
correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So, so in that vein, how's I mean, is it good? Is it bad? I'm not gonna drive it in any specific direction, but um, what is the feeling of being essentially commoditized and no longer having control of that? Because that's got to be scary. It's got to be uncomfortable.
Like part of me I really like, I don't know, I don't really care. Like, I don't put all my content on OnlyFans, definitely not.
Hmm.
I really don't put like any of my videos on OnlyFans, which makes most of my money. Like,
Hmm.
I'll make specific videos for just OnlyFans,
Hmm.
but then I have a whole video library of other shit that I sell. And like, I don't know, it's just like one time I found my photos leaked, which isn't really a big deal, to be honest, but it was under a chat room about girls from my area,
Hmm.
like it had like where I lived and like my full name and stuff.
Yeah,
Like not
that's
my
yeah,
address, but like where I lived and shit.
yeah,
And I just had a ton of pictures of me. And like it had the only like they didn't crop out the OnlyFans logo in the corner, right?
yeah. I mean, well, there's a million
So
of
it's
these
like
pirate sites now.
yeah. This was in like 2019, 2020,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. I think 2020. Yeah, I was living with my mom. Uh so my stepdad called the cops for me
Hmm.
and told him what happened. And the cops were like, well, how did they get the pictures? And he was like, they were on their OnlyFans. They're like, okay, so we can't do anything about it since they're not hers. They're OnlyFans, so OnlyFans has to make a police report.
Hmm.
So I emailed OnlyFans and I told them, and they were like, well, they're not trying to resell the images. I was like, so they posted them, and they're like, okay, well, we'll figure out how to take it down. And I was like, that's it? Like, you're not gonna call the cops? And they're like, no, we try to keep the cops out of this and like deal with it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember if the guy got if it got taken down or not, but like, yeah, that was fucking wild. And like, I don't know. It's just like if you crop the fucking OnlyFans tag out of it, they're my photos.
Yeah. I mean, well, the scary
So,
part of a lot of it is that it propagates because once it's out there and people are able to screen grab it or do whatever else, at that point it's
oh
eternally.
yeah, I'm leaked. I'm hella leaked. I'm very leaked. Like I'll Google my name sometimes, and I got like tons of leak pages, but it's only content up until like 2022, 2020,
Hmm.
like end it like yeah 2022. There's like no content, or maybe it's like 2021. There's like no content for like the last 2 years of me really that's on like leak pages. I don't know why. Maybe I just fucking fizzled out. But like, uh, yeah, I just and it's like I don't know. I knew it was gonna happen. I was fully prepared to be leaked. Like that was the one thing like I was told that was gonna happen, and uh, so I was prepared. I personally I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't really like upset me. Like it upsets so many different girls, but I'm just like, oh well, you saw me naked on the internet. Good for you. Like, what do you want, a cookie?
Mm.
Like, I don't know. It doesn't like it should bother me a lot more than it does because I want to be a teacher, but I don't think. I'm gonna be able, my students are gonna be able to like find me because my name is not on anything. Like
Hmm.
my real name is not attached in any way or form. Like
Yeah.
unless they have facial recognition by then for search, I think I'm good.
It's getting there. AI is pretty clever at this point.
Shit. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, right? Scary. The future's a
I
terrifying place.
know. Oh my God. Oh, and I
Uh,
heard that like AI is gonna take over the sex industry.
yes,
Like they're
yes.
just gonna use AI instead of like real porn stars, so they don't have to pay them.
No, I mean, and it also cuts down on all the, human trafficking and child sexual abuse, and I can see an argument for it, but it's also the
I mean,
same problem.
yeah.
Because again,
It's a
like,
catch 22. Like,
well, it also saves. I mean, like, I'm not saying it does happen because it's, the powers that be are extremely predatory, and they will always need fresh young bodies to grind into, pulp, as it were. But it's one of those things where those people will always be out there trying to prey on the impressionable people who are looking for a couple $100 to keep them going in the world and understand how to
it's a
predator.
kink.
Yeah, I mean, it's half a kink, half what's how would I even phrase this? Because there's a difference between it being a kink to be predatory and then being Jeffrey Epstein, or like one of these Hollywood porn producers, you know. It's a very weird mixed bag, and I don't know if we've really, really looked at the moral complexities of the Pandora's box after what is it, Larry Flynn, did all the legal stuff he did for porn back in God, what is that, the 80s, the 90s, as
Oh yeah, fuck.
when he was running Hustler? Because I mean, like back in the day,
Yeah.
pornography was a completely different animal, but now
Uh-huh.
that monster's out of the bag and there's no putting it back. Um, do you think that there's a way for, I guess, human psychosexuality to recover from this without removing the
That's
amount
a
of
good
porn,
one.
or do you think that like it's like we've done permanent generational like psychological scarring that's going to like scream throughout the rest of time and space?
I'm hold on, I'm texting someone back real quick because I really want to fucking
Yeah, sure.
answer this one.
Yeah, take your time.
Oh God, I have so many. I didn't realize going dark for an hour would make like it's
Yeah.
so much.
I mean, let's be, the
Uh,
people are paying attention.
I love it. I'm like I'm so popular. Okay. So just like every fucking generational issue, I feel like with time it can either be solved or be mended or will eventually fizzle. Like the problem won't be a problem anymore because it'll be like past that point. So like
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
maybe not with like, this kind of issue, but like other like yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Well, most issues, yes. It's one of those
yes.
things where my grand hope for the world is that people going forward think a little bit more about their, the corporeal form and kind of
Mm-hmm.
the rights and logic of keeping that sound and yours instead of selling it off piecemeal to
Mm-hmm.
corporations or creepy people or
Mm-hmm.
and again, it's not even just like obviously the most obvious sore thumb on this is the sex work industry, but the same goes for
Mm-hmm.
streaming or being a non-pornographic content creator in the sense of being like a YouTuber or whatever in this and to a lesser degree kind of musicians and stuff. But it all goes back to the core issues of um, remaining solid in oneself and kind of being able to hang on to your copyright, as it were. And obviously,
Oh yeah.
you're doing your best to hang on to it, but parts of that have escaped beyond your grasp, which is a scary thought. And I know that feeling too with some of my music, some of my books, whatever. And to be fair, it's a lot. It's a lot less weight
So
going. Ah, man, this guy pirated my book. That's it's just the word fuck 400
so
times.
I fucking what was I gonna say? Um I have a website in the process of being made. My friend, who is a computer nerd geek,
Mm.
I messaged him. I was like, "How do you make a website?" And he was like, "Oh, do you want one?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I got you." And so he just went and he made like he fucking really he just really bought me he bought me a domain.
Mm.
He was like, it was like $12, so I just went ahead and bought it for you. And I was like, oh, thanks. But he just bought me mollyrod.com.
Yeah.
So and he was like, I can work like we can have a call here someday soon and go over like what all you want and I can like start on the website and like update you every once in a while and like then you can like launch it,
Mm.
when you're happy with it. And I was like, "Oh my God." And then we kind of went ghost with each other because I just like he when he would message me, I'd be like either like sleeping or just like too depressed and like I'd message him and he'd be working. So
Mm.
trying really hard, but I think I'm gonna try. I think I want to try and make like my own subscription
Yes.
thing, so where you can subscribe to me on my website.
I mean, it makes sense
Therefore, I
though.
get 100% of the profit, and
I mean,
like I don't have to
it's
like sell
probably gonna
myself to
be hard.
OnlyFans anymore.
That would be ideal,
I
yes.
know.
Well,
Yeah, so that's the ideal. That's the like end goal.
the weird part. I mean, and I do understand this because again, the aforementioned child pornography issue.
Mm,
But they,
I have a story about that.
most payment processors treat child or I almost got it wrong there. Treat pornography
Mm,
and billing for it and paying for it the same as they view tobacco and guns. So it's in a higher
yep.
tax bracket, and you got to have all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, OnlyFans takes out 20% of my fucking profit.
whew, oh damn,
I charge $12.99 for my subscription, right?
wow.
I
So
get $10 out of it.
so they actually really are the embodiment of Satan on Earth. Wild.
Yeah. But the reason why I haven't moved to a different platform is I have at least 100 reoccurring subs
Mm,
for the past like I've had them for at least the past like 3 4 years, if not the
mm,
past like how long have I been on OnlyFans? 6, I think.
mm,
5. I don't remember. I started in 2019, like November 2019.
mm.
So I don't know how many years I was in. But I have guys that have like been subscribed to me since the dawn and they've just never unsubscribed. Like at least there's a good 100 of them.
Mm.
And I'll get between like 2 and 400 more depending on what time of year it is. Summer
Mm.
usually June's usually my most profitable month. I was going through some shit in June, so like I didn't profit that much. But fucking so like I think uh, I gotta like kick my ass into gear because the slow season's coming up, and I want to be prepared for
Yeah, you
that.
got to make sure
Because like
you got your acorns for the winter.
yeah, exactly. Because I fucked up and didn't like take advantage of the summer.
Yeah,
But
maybe in the future.
it's fine. But yeah, September usually is a pretty okay month. End of August, September, because people are going back to school and they're like, fuck, got a FAP. Um, what was it? What were we saying? Fuck, I was going off. I had a
Uh,
point to this.
the payment processors, guns, and porn, and
Yeah,
then
OnlyFans takes 20%. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like I'd want to like, do it myself or like find a different website. But it's just the fact that like all my shit's been on like I have everything I've ever made for OnlyFans on there
Yeah.
since 2019. So like years worth of content. I have the most loyal and recurring subscribers there.
Hmm.
And like it's just if I feel like it would be a huge back step for me to get rid of it.
I mean, you could keep both
Like
theoretically. I mean, really, the question is, how many people do you think would actually follow you to a secondary platform without the
exactly. I know.
safety and anonymity of the what OnlyFans
Because
provides?
OnlyFans is very catered to customers, right?
Yes, it's very catered
OnlyFans is
to
incredibly catered to like like customers.
especially
And
casual people, I would bet.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the payments come through as Felix International.
Mhm.
It doesn't say anything about like porn or only like it just comes through as Phoenix International.
Yeah.
So like it's like what is that? Anything could be anything. Um
Yeah, buying
could
phoenixes.
make it off as anything. Yeah. Felix. Felix.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's what Felix the cat, buying merchandise from Felix the cat, whatever. Um,
So it's very, very anonymous and very,
yes.
yeah, it's very catered to creator or not creators. It's not catered to creators. Other sites are more catered to creators, which lessens the like. accessibility to clients
Mm.
in the long run. Apparently, according to them, you fucking take one crumb away from them, and they act like they're starving.
So what's the difference
Like,
between, I guess, that payment style and the way that works versus what was the one? Because I know there was a huge hubbub 2 years ago or something about I think they were going to try to take porn off OnlyFans. It all
yeah, they were gonna like ban NSFW content from OnlyFans,
yeah, and
and they
then
lost like over 50 million fucking accounts.
yeah, and then what was it? They went to Fansly. Is that what it was?
Yeah, everyone into Fansly. I don't understand Fansly. I can't get it to work.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So what was the story that you said you had about the CP? That part I got to know about.
Mm, the what?
I thought you said that there was
Oh,
a
the underage. Okay, so
yeah, yeah.
I
That
went
sounds interesting.
when
Mm.
I first started sex work. I did it on Tumblr, right?
Uh.
I didn't know about OnlyFans. I don't even know if OnlyFans existed then. But and like 2018, right? End of 2018. It's like
Mm.
October or something. And I'm on Tumblr with my little sex work Tumblr, and a guy then starts messaging me asking me if I'll like do customs for him. And
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, sure, but like here's all the content I have right now. And he's like, no, I need a custom because I know you won't have this. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a kink. And he was like,
Mm.
don't don't leave, don't get scared, just hear me out. I am a pedophile.
Oof.
I don't like it. I wish I tried to not give into it, but I cannot get it off any other way.
Mm.
So you look very young. You look really young. You're about the age that I like. Will you pretend
Mm.
to be that age, dress a little younger, talk a little, yeah, and like make me content
Mm.
so like I can get off legally and not like commit a sin, you know? Like he's like, I don't want to abuse children. Like I don't want to do that. I hate the idea,
Yeah.
but I can't get off any other way. And I was like, yeah, man, I got you. Like if it's helping out a fellow, like I got you. And so like he was a regular client for like a year or so,
Mm.
like two years like about, and then Tumblr was like, no NSFW anymore, bye, and I just lost my Tumblr. But like I talked to him a lot. Like I asked some pretty overstepping questions sometimes,
Uh.
because I was like, I just need to know. I
I
just
mean,
need to
yeah.
know.
I mean,
Like I was like, what? Like
oh,
I
keep
was
going.
like, do you like how like well how do you feel about it? Like what how does it make you feel? And he was like, I feel awful. Like it's the worst thing. Like I hate it, but like I literally cannot get hard, like unless they're like underage. Like he liked 10, 10, 11, 12.
Ooh, that's yeah,
And
that's pretty gnarly.
yeah. And like this is before my tattoos. I looked super young when I was 18. I did
Mm.
not look I looked 14 when I was 18. Like so I fucking yeah, I did made content for him and stuff, and like we talked about it, and he was just like I'd like to do it like safe. Like you're a consenting adult. Like
Mm.
I feel comfortable doing it. And I'm like, I'm so glad I can help you. And then I lost him and I didn't know how to find him again. And I was like, no,
I
I hope
mean,
you can get off.
yeah, but I mean that guy eventually probably ended up in the can. I gotta assume. Um,
Yeah, I felt like I was helping society by keeping a pedophile from offending.
they usually offend one way or the other traditionally.
Usually offend, but I admired his dedication to not. You
I mean,
know?
yeah, yeah. Assuming
I
that
really
he was,
admired his like yeah.
assuming he was telling the truth. That's one of the keys there. And being a pedophile, I don't know if
Yeah,
he
I don't
was.
know what like yeah. I don't know what he would get out of like yeah, but because like we had some pretty intimate talks and so like I believed him.
Mm,
So
that's wild.
it was just interesting. It was interesting. That was
That
definitely that's one of my stories. It was wild
that's yeah, that's pretty gnarly. I've
because like
heard a
people have some
bunch.
opinions about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of their opinions are string them up unless you're a public school teacher, and at that point you're like, no, you got to defend them. You got to. Things get a
Yeah,
little
right.
weird at
Yeah,
that point.
defend the children.
It's very weird living in a society where the people that should be protecting children aren't, and then the people that
I know. Ugh.
would traditionally not have any interest in protecting children are out to protect children. That one's wild to
Like
me.
yeah, I wanna do something to help. Like either do like I wanted to either be a therapist for like a juvenile center or like be a counselor for like a high school or like because I like working with like middle school teenager like because I did a lot of like when I was in high school like my senior year I was a
Mm.
student teacher and I was like the speech debate captain.
Hmm.
So like I worked with like them a lot, and like I'm good at it,
Mm,
and so I'd like to do it in the future. And it's just like children, we like if we don't cater our children, we're gonna be fucked when we're older, and we need them
yes. Well, I
to
mean,
like
we
take care of the
also
world. Like
need to make sure that one, someone protects them, but two, especially with the knowledge. The knowledge is the really important part there. Um, it's very weird understanding that we're one of the first generations where fucking children is a no-no. You'd think that like we would have figured that out a while ago, but even as far back as it's why I can't listen to Led Zeppelin anymore, knowing that Jimmy Page fucked as many 14-year-olds as he did.
God, that's awful.
I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
when you go back, what is it? In L.A., like you can see the photos of these guys, and it's like Iggy Pop and the guys from Zeppelin, like
Oh, I
everybody.
love Iggy Pop.
But it was one of those things where what did they call it? They call them baby groupies. That's what they call them.
Yeah,
And it was a group of that. It was, if I remember correctly, that's what they based Almost Famous on. Was one of the
yeah,
most famous of them. But it's one of those things
yeah. I
where
got.
it's weird to exist now, where we're only just coming
Uh-huh.
to that consensus that like maybe we shouldn't, maybe this is
Like,
bad.
yeah, right. I got fucking preyed on and groomed hard when I was underage, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
my nickname for the longest time was jailbait.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I started dating an 18-year-old when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just where our birthday slide was really odd. He was only like 3 years older than me in actuality, but like it was yeah. But all of his friends called me jailbait, because they were like a lot older, and so and like I'll like every like oh it was so fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like when I turned 18, just like everyone was like, "You're finally 18. You want to go out? You're finally 18. Let's go out." And I'm like, "Holy fuck, leave me
Yeah,
alone!
that's pretty fucking
Gross,
creepy. That is very gross. I do
gross."
agree.
And like I had a lot of people that didn't even wait. Like I had this 30-year-old that was like fucking just trying to slide in. He bought me presents. He like would like do all like the it would like so like obviously like it was working. Like I love being spoiled, so like
Mm-hmm.
he just would buy me shit all the time. And then my parents were like, "This is kind of weird." And then we like entered a cosplay contest together, and everyone was like, "This is really weird."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Do
so that
do
was nuts.
do you think
Um,
any of that played into where your arc went in sex work, or do you think that that's
Oh, absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because when I was in like middle school and stuff, when like everyone was like just getting it, like I was ugly as fuck. And I was really weird because I was into like nerdy shit. I was into Star Wars and like anime and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And like eventually I came out as a lesbian for a little bit, so that was weird too.
yeah. Teenage female
Um,
sexuality gets real weird there in the formational
yeah.
years.
Because I would be like, I don't like even like the thought of men, but like I could handle a few women. So I was like a lesbian for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was awful. I got made fun of a lot for that. I got bullied out of cheer camp basically. Like they wrote gay on my wall and shit because I had a girlfriend and stuff, and they were like, "She's gonna watch us change and shit. Like we don't like want her to be on the team." And my cousin was like a head cheerleader, and she's like, "Fuck off." But anyway, I just was ugly, and everyone liked my friends over me always because they were prettier and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was never the pretty one. I just wanted to be so bad. Like I just wanted to be so bad. And I just was like I tried I just want I want and then all of a sudden I got hit with like the puberty stick
Mm-hmm.
and I started getting pretty. And I had worked so hard on making people like me based on my personality. So my personality was getting great. And then I became pretty. Holy shit, I have it all.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking bomb. So then I just got like fucking just bombarded and just like now I've to the point where like if a guy doesn't like me, I'm like, are you okay? Like everyone thinks I'm pretty. What? Huh? Like I'm that egotistical sometimes. Like I in reality I know, but like I think like that sometimes. Like I'm that fucking bad.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like you're allowed to be that obsessed with yourself because like you live with yourself your whole life. Like you have only you for your entire life. So why not be obsessed with yourself? I feel like it's just a lot like easier and nicer on yourself to like yourself.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're the only person that has to live in your skin.
Oh, I
Um,
know, right?
and then, if you let other people into your head, it gets a little crowded. Um, so in that same vein, well, actually, are you still with this person you were with when we were doing the original interviews when you said that?
Oh no, no, no.
Okay,
We broke up in 2022
okay,
when
uh,
I moved back in with my parents. Yeah.
okay. I mean, didn't you guys? What were you 16? He was 20 when you guys met, or something?
So I was 15 and he was 18.
Okay. That's where I got that mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So he had just turned 18 and I was turning 16 in like a month.
okay.
So technically we're only 3 years apart, but our birthdays make us seem like a lot. Yeah. 15, 16, 17, 8. Yeah, our birthdays make it seem like we're 4 years, but we're actually like 2.5 or 3.
Okay.
But uh anyway, yeah, we broke up a while ago when I like moved back in like to my with my parents because
Yeah.
like I was going through a really bad addiction.
Yeah.
And he was like, him and my other boyfriend, because I was dating, and they were like, you would need to get sober or we can't do this. And I was like, okay, then I guess I'll try and get sober. And they're like, yeah, but we're still gonna break up with you. And I was like, I guess I moved back in with my parents
I mean,
because I fucking needed out of that town. It
but it's
helps in the long run.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, are you in a better place now than you were then?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. It was bad back then. So I feel it was a good choice. It was a good choice. But like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, we were at the end of our rope. Like, it was just our relationship was very strained. And I cheated on him a lot because he was really into dope too. And he would just like get really high and play video games all day.
The
And then like
fall of
ignore the shit out of me.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fall of modern men. Who would have guessed that an anime guy would end up doing that?
Right? I know. And like just would never like do anything. I'd be like, "Can you take me to the doctor?" No. Will you take me to the store? No. So his friend was like, "I'll take you to the doctor's. I'll go to the store with you." He stepped in. Oh yeah, anyway. So and so yeah, it was just a failing relationship and for both of our sanities we had to quit. Even though we put 6 years into it.
I mean, yeah, but some things need to die so that new things
Yeah,
can
uh-huh.
blossom. You know,
Yeah.
and it sounds like you're in a better place, and obviously,
Yeah.
that relationship, given where it started, probably had some real hinky baggage. I would assume, other than the parts you were talking about.
It was terrible. I'm not gonna get into it, but he was built like a horse.
I mean, yeah, yeah, you've talked
And I
about.
am 4'11". I'm 4'11".
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, it's awful.
so do you think the brightest days are ahead of you at this point, or do you think that
Um,
this is the zenith? You know.
well, I think I peaked in like June of 2021.
Hmm.
I think is when I peaked. Or was it 2020? God, when was COVID? When did COVID hit?
Oh man,
What year?
3 years ago, so 2020, no, 2019, the end of 2019, I think.
No, it was like it was after 2019.
So yeah, it would be 2020 is
So I
when it
remember,
hit
yeah,
formally.
2020. Okay. So June of 2020 is when I had like my most followers. I had 2,000 followers on
Hmm.
OnlyFans. I was popping. I was making bank. I made $13,000 on OnlyFans alone in that June. Not
Hmm.
to mention my Snapchat that I was working. So I probably made around like, I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but like 17. I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Uh, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. And I took a really big trip. I flew to DC to be with my sugar daddy for a little bit,
Hmm.
and then my boyfriend at the time flew to be with me. And then we went around DC, and then we flew back to Portland, and we drove from Portland home. So home is Montana.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was a really awesome trip. My sugar daddy paid for the stuff in DC, but I had to pay for to get to Portland and then to get from Portland home.
Hmm.
So, and we lived a very luxurious fucking life doing that. Like I fucking didn't. I splurged, which I'm proud I did. Like it was a fun time. Like I'm happy I did.
So
Because like
were you able to hang
if
on
I
to any
was
of that?
home with that much money, no, I spent most of it on drugs. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
as it goes. Yeah, no, that's most of our early
And
20s.
I had to like I had to pull myself $2,000 out of the hole with the fucking energy company, and then I had to fucking yeah, it was a shit show. I bought my house and then I had to sell it. So that was just awful, and I lost a lot. Yeah, it was terrible. Um, but I bought a house, so that was cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I too someday wish to own a
didn't
home.
realize how much of a piece of shit it was, but oh well.
I mean,
Um,
it was still property,
but
you know.
yeah, it was cool. It was neat. I was like, ooh, I'm 21 with a house. Like, how awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I feel like that was my first peak. I might peak again, but I'm gonna have to put a lot of work into it because my TikTok got banned
Hmm.
at 200K. I had 200K on TikTok and I got banned. And I was pissed because I had a lot of views on there. I had a couple million view videos. I had a lot of like over 200K view videos. Like, I was popping. And that was where I fucking did most of my ad revenue. And then they were like, hey, you're talking about sex work. Get out of here. And I'm like, kind of in a roundabout way. And they're like, leave.
I mean,
So they deleted
yeah,
me.
I mean, it's the Chinese. They're not exactly known for being the most sex
Yeah.
positive or humane,
Rude bitches.
or
Rude bitches.
I mean, they're committing genocide right now. So it's,
Oh yeah. Can't
it's one of
believe China owns TikTok.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, especially considering the amount of money they put into soft power via technology. Which it's not great, but it's also kind of very scary seeing how Western versus their algorithms work, and kind of seeing where the developmentally there's a marked difference between children that grew up on Vines and children that grew up on TikTok. Um, and I'm not really sure how to quantify it, but like either I'm a boomer or like there is a delineation between the psychology of the two. But that also might be because at a certain point Vine ended, versus TikTok just keeping on going and going and going.
Oh,
But yeah, no, it's wild. It's it's the brave new world.
and we're
Uh,
like the first generations of like kids to like grow up with everything online,
yes,
you know?
absolutely, yeah,
Like our entire lives are online, and it's just crazy how like, because like I talk to people like oh like people and they're like have like three photos of them like in the teenage years,
yeah,
and I'm like I have a whole fucking phone,
yeah. No, I did my best
so
to
it's crazy.
I did my best to scrub everything that I could. I kept a couple and then got rid of it. I think somewhere out there there's still a MySpace, but I've yet to find it. I'm pretty good at finding the stuff. Um, so we're rounding out about an hour and a half. I think I hit on most of my points. Is there anything
Fuck yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about, or is there anything that?
I think we hit like most of the shit that I really wanted to highlight. Like,
Yeah,
I think you did well. Look at us go.
yeah, we got it done. And this
Yeah,
time,
hell yeah.
and this time,
Why is this your last interview? Like, what's that about?
I'm stepping back from. I mean, I've been stepped back from internet stuff for a while, and living in a digital world is very unfulfilling. You're always chasing a dragon, and I would never expect it to go
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. But I really wanted to most of these interviews, and like obviously I might put together a book of, because I did a couple hundred of these. Most of them, well, I mean, the majority of them weren't published. I've got a lot of them that are on cassette. That just, I like having the physical version of it because I do a lot of my interviews in person. A lot of interviewing homeless people or musicians or just
Oh
interesting
hell
people.
yeah.
But at a certain point, it's one of those things where I very much want to cut down on that public facing self and
Yeah.
let my books speak for me if people can find them because I publish under a different name every time, or
Yeah, that's funny.
most of it. But it's one of those deals where I just I don't know. The digital world has grown so very dark in the modern era, and
Yeah, it really has. Yeah.
I don't, like someday we'll get back there, I believe. But right now, especially just trying to focus on life, trying to have a family, trying to work
Yeah,
on,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, fuck
yeah,
yeah, do it. Do it.
because it's one of those things where like
Well, I'm proud of you. Hell
yeah,
yeah, that's
thank
awesome.
you. And I'm sure things seem things seem like you peaked, but you've got your professional career ahead of you, you've got life ahead of you, and it seems like you're getting your shit together. And like obviously, it takes an entire lifetime for you to get your shit together. But at the same time, you get to reap all the rewards at the end. I think we could all argue is a
Yeah,
truism.
I got.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah. We all, we've all got our crosses to bear, and eventually, we find our way either up or out. And
Yep.
it does. I know a lot of people are choosing the out methodology at this point, but those of us that survive and those of us that don't completely fuck our lives, we get to inherit the world that they leave behind. It's like a
Oh hell yeah.
it's like a real time rapture where instead of God coming down and turning people into clothes,
Mm.
it's people just slowly killing themselves with chemicals and digital media.
Oh yeah, they're doing it for the government. It's awesome. Not
Yeah,
really, but
I don't. I mean, there's a sentiment brewing, and if I've learned anything from watching the cycles of history, we're probably around where we were after the what is it, '68 Democratic Convention. Everything seems real.
mm,
Everything seems real contentious right about now, but we eventually all like tag team the government,
yeah, fuck yeah.
as it should
Hopefully
be.
that's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah,
As it should be,
yeah,
exactly.
as it should be. But yeah, I think that's everything I got. So, well, I'm maybe 45 pages into the new book. Um,
Hell yeah. You're gonna have to send it to
uh,
me when you're done.
yeah, I mean, there's the new one. Salvation and Lost Nation just came out. I got to do the audiobook for it. Came out at about 3 hours. It's the only way I can find a way to talk about modern existence, sex,
Mm.
death, giant guinea pigs, and God in one thing.
Oh
Um,
fuck yeah. I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah, it's a good one right there. But anything you want to plug? I mean, like I'm probably gonna upload this. I'll keep it up for a month, and then I'll let you know before I pull it down, so that you can get a copy if you want to upload it onto your channel. Um,
Gee, yeah, I might do that.
yeah, and again, there's nothing here that would be. It's not like the first two where it was a giant
Yeah, I
dox plot.
know.
Yeah,
I
this
think I did good this time.
yeah this one no one's showing up at our doors for. Um,
Perfect.
so is there anything you want to plug when this goes up, or
uh, Follow me on OnlyFans. Molly rocks. uh, and then honestly, just Google Molly Raw and you'll find all my links. That's pretty awesome. Like
yeah, there you go.
they come up. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Fuck
All,
yeah.
all right.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Well, it was awesome talking to you. I had fun.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. If I ever get back into the game, we'll keep talking. But if I ever get back to the game, we'll do a follow up like 5 years from now.
Yeah, all right, me. That'd be fun.
Once we've all got our Ted Kaczynski cabins, and we we all. I mean, technically, all. I mean, home for you was Montana, so I mean, you're already like not far from there. But someday I'll have a cabin in Montana where I'll mail books from instead of bombs, ideally. But
Hell yeah.
all right. Um, I think that's everything. Anything else you want to? I mean, we already covered, but anything else you want to plug real fast before we end this?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Great. Thank you. That was
No
fun.
problem. Yeah, no, it's great. Thank
I'll
you so
talk
much
to you
for the
later.
insight. I will talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, party people, and that was arguably the final chapter. Well, I mean, not arguably. We don't know it yet, but that was one of the final chapters of all of this. And one of the traditions that I picked up from exactly when I started working on the internet was leaving the people with a song. I know we didn't do this live, so I didn't start in with one, but I'm going to leave you with one from uh, a musical group called Day of Gasoline. The song's a demo for a song called Ill the Hall, and it's possibly one of the favorite songs that I've heard, I don't know, in the most recent years. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope if we never speak again, you have a wonderful life. And uh, don't trust the fucking federal government or corporations.
I thought that you should know there is no rest at home. Sleepwalking through the day, at night we lie awake. But maybe we could go away to ill to and everybody knows
goodbye and good night. It's been lovely having these fireside chats with you people.